Hello, I'm Selena Smith. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the effects of ADD in the classroom. How many of us have been in public and seen a child that could not sit still, talking nonstop, or seemed to be in his own little world? You were probably looking at a child that has ADHD. In today's world, they are only diagnosed with ADHD and are given subtitles such as inattentive type, dyslexic, alexic, or ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder. Today I will share with you a few steps to help a child with this disorder in the classroom. Keeping the child engaged by giving simple, concrete instructions. According to childdevelopmentinfo.com, gain the child's attention before giving them instructions. Give one instruction at a time. Sometimes you may repeat these instructions and write them down after you have given them orally. You can write them down on the whiteboard, you can write them down on a sheet of paper and give to the kid so he can look back and refer to. Either way, it's a really good idea. Also, kellybear.com states that you can walk around the room quietly, and when you notice the kid is getting off track, simply pat the kid on the back and point to where he should be. Okay, now let's talk about keeping the environment structured. This has many advantages for the teacher and the student, according to adwarehouse.com. By explaining what you expect from the child, you hold them accountable for not finishing their work or for distracting the class also. Explain the lesson before giving it to the child. You can simply state, today we will be having in math class 2-digit numbers. Okay, we will sit still and read all of our story aloud, taking turns. As long as it's simple, direct instructions. Okay, and another strategy is positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is when you're walking around the room and you notice Leroy, who has ADHD, has finished his first row of math. Let him know that's a really good job, Leroy. Now let's work on our second row of math. Or if you're in the cafeteria and you notice Katie, who usually is running around with the wild child, is sitting still, eating her lunch, and not bothering anybody. When you go out to recess, let Katie know she did a really good job. And if you have a treasure box in your room or a little candy jar in your room, let her know that when you go back to the room, she can get a piece of candy or something out of the treasure box. We're doing a really good job. Okay, the more that you enforce that action, the more you will get that from that child. Okay? Finally, we're going to talk about how to work with a child with ADD, or ADHD. Sorry, my kids have ADD, which is the inattentive type. So that's probably why I will say more of ADD than ADHD. Establish a cue like a secret look between you and the child. This secret look can let the teacher know you need a break. If you and the teacher allow to have breaks during class, some do not, you can let the child get up and go to the water fountain, or you can let the child just sit there quietly, which is probably not a good idea because they've been sitting there long enough. So it's a good idea to let them take a little break every now and then. Trust me, kids with ADHD need a break. Okay? When they come back from their break, they should be able to get back on task without any other interruptions. Okay? Also, set realistic goals for this child. Setting goals that you know the child will never reach, such as sitting still the whole entire day and not talking out of turn. The child will never accomplish these, and you will rack your brain with frustration on how to help this child. Okay, so setting realistic goals can help the child. And by setting realistic goals, you're setting goals like, if you finish your work in class today without me having to redirect you, I will get you a treat. Or if the child usually does not turn in homework by himself, you can simply state, if you bring all your homework in for the whole week without me asking, have you turned your homework in, you will get that treat. You will get that child a treat. And trust me, if you don't bring that child a treat, he or she will let you know. They may not remember to do all of their work in the classroom, but I promise you, they will remember that treat you told them you were going to bring. Okay? And now that we have discussed these steps on ADHD, I hope it gave you a little insight. If you have ever experienced these kids or have one of your own, you know they are truly a blessing in disguise. Most of these kids cannot help how they are acting and wish they could really do better. If you ever have had a child with ADHD, you and you alone are the kid's best advocate.